Hey, fourth graders, welcome to another language lesson. This is the dictionary, pages 215 to 217. There's a lot to cover, so let's get started. So as you can see this time, you can see most of my screen here. If you guys remember, I showed you Photoshop in the classroom. So the reason why you can see this part here is because I need a more wider screen area for this lesson. So yeah, just in case you're wondering what all this is just part of Photoshop. So all right. So, do you guys know that in the English language we have 600,000 words, or just a little bit over that? So, is it possible for someone to memorize all 600,000 words and what they mean? No, of course not, right? That's why we need dictionaries. So, dictionaries is a book that you would use to look up words that you don't know what the meaning is. Okay, so of course I know that we don't really use dictionaries anymore. A lot of us, we have our smartphones. We can just Google something and and look it up and see what it means. And you might be wondering, why are we learning this if we can just look it up on the website? Well, later on I'll show you that even on websites you'll see the exact same thing as this entry here, and it's really important that you know what the information that the website's showing you. So I think that's why this lesson, I believe, is pretty useful, even though using a dictionary might be pretty outdated. So let's get started on this. Let's look at the different parts of a dictionary. So this first part we see here, uh, this is called the entry word. Entry word. All right, entry word. So the entry word is pretty much the word that's being explained and defined. All right, so we know that all this information here is related to the word observatory. So usually the entry word is the first word you see, and it's usually bolded, a different color to make it really stand out. So it tells you what the information that you see is referring to. So all this here is all referring back to this word obstruction. And for, our word observatory, all this information here is for the word observatory. So the next part here, you see the word, you see it says noun. This tells us the part of speech. This is part of speech. So this tells us that an observatory is a noun. So we can't use that word as a verb. We can't say the monkey observatory the box, because that's not how we use the word observatory. It's a noun, not a verb. And the next part here is, of course, the definition. It tells us what the word means. So what's a observatory? It's a place designed and equipped for making observations as of the stars and planets or of the weather. This next part here, so let me write definition. Definition. This next part here is called the syllabication. Syllabication. So if we were to break up the word observatory into syllables, this is how we would break it up. Observatory. So how many syllables does the word observatory have? It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 syllables. So that's a syllabication. It's when we break words up into syllables. The next part here is the pronunciation. Pronunciation. So how do you say the word observatory? Observatory. All right, so it tells you how you would say each syllable. Next part here, again, it tells you the part of speech, but it also tells you if the plural form of observatory. So if you have more than one observatory, it's called a observatories, and it also shows you how to spell it, right? So change the Y to I and add ES. So that's pretty much it for one entry word in a dictionary. So I also want to show you this. So here's a website that I'm going to have you guys use in a later lesson. This is from Kids W Wordsmith. It's a kids dictionary website. So as you can see here, a lot of the things that we see here, a lot of the things that we see in the website here, we also see in our dictionary. So it tells you here's a syllabication and the pronunciation, right? Exact same thing as here. And we got the parts of speech, right? And the inflections is kind of like the pronunciation. And of course, the definition we have down here. And it even has an illustration, just like our dictionary entry here. So that's why it's, even though using a dictionary is kind of outdated, if you go to a website, you'll see the exact same information. And this is going to help you, know what kind of information you're seeing. So let's go over the worksheet. That's a lot in the worksheet that they're asking you to do. It's a little bit confusing, but hopefully we can do it together. Let me just bring this back up. All right. So the first one, see, it says, let me just get this fixed real quick. All right. It says, answer these questions from the dictionary page. Number 1, by looking at the entry words in blue, find 7 entry words with 3 syllables. List them on the lines below. So I just told you observatory. This part down here tells you the syllables, how many syllables it has, and how do we break it up into syllables. So the word observatory has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 syllables. And our worksheet here is asking us to find words that have 7, sorry, not 7. Find 7 words, 3 syllables. So you're looking for 7 words with 3 syllables. So observatory can't be 1 because that's 5. Let's see if we can look for 1. Observe has observe, that's 2. Obstacle, obstacle. So obstacle is 1. It has 3 syllables. So you can write obstacle, obstacle as one of your entry words. And I think you can do the rest by yourself. So just look through all the words. Look for ones that have 3 syllables, just like obstacle is broken into 1, 2, 3 syllables. All right. And this next one is now find 2 entry words with 4 syllables. List them on the lines below. All right. So look for one that has 4 syllables. Number 2, place the accent mark after the accented syllables in the following words. If a word has more than 1 accent mark, make clear which one is stronger. So this part I have to explain to you a little bit more. So we haven't really gone over accent marks. So let me just do it here. So an accent mark is, there are certain words in the English language where the syllables we say louder. For example, the word banana. So banana can be broken up into banana, right? And one of these syllables in banana is stressed or accented. And the one that we say, the syllable that we say louder is what we call the stressed syllable, or the one with the accent to it. So banana, so na and banana, so banana, sorry, is the stressed syllable. Because we don't say banana or banana, we say banana. We say this middle syllable louder and maybe a little bit longer compared to the other syllables, compared to the first and the third syllable. So let's look at another example. The word teacher can be broken up into 2 syllables, T and then cher. But the one that we say louder is T, right? And teacher. We don't say teacher, we say teacher. So this is the accented syllable. And the way we would mark that a syllable is accented is we would draw this little line here, right? And this tells us that this syllable we would say louder compared to the other syllables. Same thing for teacher. All right, so they want us to place the accent mark after the accented syllables in the following words. If a word has more than 1 accent mark, make clear which one is stronger. So the word obstruct, look for the word obstruct in your dictionary page here. Where is it? Obstruct, right here. So here's obstruct. See how it's broken up into syllables here? Obstruct. So which one has the accent mark? Well, It's actually after the second syllable here. Instruct. All right, so you would just draw this little accent mark here after the second syllable. Let's do the second one together. Obvious. So obvious, which one has this? You're looking for this accent mark in obvious. All right, let's see which one of the syllables in obvious has it. Where's obvious? Right here. Here's obvious. So here's the pronunciation. So which syllable in obvious has the accent mark in it? That's right, the first one. So you do the same thing here. Draw the accent mark after the first syllable, because when you say the word obvious, you have to say the first syllable ob louder compared to the other two. Excuse me. All right, so hopefully you can do the rest by yourself. Look for the word, occupation. Look at the pronunciation. Look for the accent mark, all right, in obvious, and then copy it down here. Okay. Next one says list 2 words that are illustrated. So there's 2 words in here that are illustrated in our dictionary page. Obviously, observatory is illustrated, right? It's illustrations telling us what an observatory looks like. So there's one other word that has an illustration. I'm not going to tell you what, but it's pretty obvious. So observatory. Number 4, give the parts of speech to each of the following words. Remember, the parts of speech comes after the entry word in our dictionary page here. So obvious, this part of speech is an adjective. So do the rest for the other words. Next one, write the second definition of the following words. So some entry words, or some words in your dictionary, are going to have more than one definition to them. So occasion, and this word here is a noun. The first definition is a very important event. Thanksgiving is a great occasion. So some words will give you an example of how to use the word in a sentence. The next one, the time when something takes place. They met on the occasion of my friend's wedding. So this is the second definition here, the number 2. So they want us to write this definition, the second one. The time, sorry, the T needs to be capitalized. The time when something takes place. All right, run out of space. All right. So just look for the word and write down the second definition. All right. So whatever the definition that has the number 2 next to it. All right. Let's go to the next page. Here's the next page. Let me get this set up. All right. This one says, answer these questions. What are 2 synonyms for obstinate? Obstinate. Or obstinate. Or sorry, this is short I. So for obstinate, what are the 2 synonyms for obstinate? Let's see. It says obstinate, adjective, stubbornly holding to an attitude or opinion. And the second definition is hard to manage, control, cure. That is an obstinate cough. Obstinate adjectives. Synonyms, obstinate, headstrong, stubborn. So here it is. It gives you the synonyms for obstinate. I think most dictionaries don't really, dictionaries in the book don't usually give you the synonyms, but for obstinate, they give you the definition. Sorry, it's a short I sound. So not long A, short I. So obstinate. All right. So just copy down the 2 synonyms that it shows right here. All right. Is a 95-degree angle an obtuse angle? So look at obtuse angle is an angle that is greater than 90 degrees and less than 180 degrees. So it's saying it's 95 degrees an angle, an obtuse angle. Okay, so looking at the definition, what do you think? Yes or no? And you gotta tell me why. And the rest of the words, the questions here, you just gotta read the question and just really use your critical thinking skills. Just really think about Let's read the whole entry. You read the definition, the parts of speech, all of that, and that's going to help you answer all these questions here. Okay. So for C, what are some things you might observe in an observatory? Obviously, you're going to want to read the definition, and after you read the definition, you should be able to answer the questions. Number 7, pronounce each of the dictionary entries on page 216 aloud. So you're just going to read all these words that are in blue. And here's a note here, and just some clues. Yeah. So that's about it for these few pages. Hopefully that wasn't too much for you, but of course, if you have any questions, always feel free to contact me. All right, praying for you guys.